All right, welcome back to Daybreak. It's now 13 minutes to 7 o'clock, and we continue the coverage of the COVID-19, a disease that has claimed the lives of over 69,000 people across the world and about 4 people in the country. We are reporting 142 cases. Out of those, 4 have died, 4 have recovered. So the active cases, you're talking about 134. So it's time to speak to, is it to speak to Raburu or to look at the graphics? Okay, we speak to Raburu Kwanza. Good morning, Raburu. We've missed you on the show. How are you keeping and what are you doing?
Well, good morning, Sam. How are you? I'm here trying to open something up on the computer. But nimekuwa sawa, nimekuwa nikiwabebea tu nyumbani. Everything's been going on super fine and crisp.
So what exactly have you been doing? Because we've not seen you since the last time you did Sporty Monday. I remember that day you were mourning because a lot of leagues had been cancelled or postponed.
Yeah, so basically nimekuwa tu nikitulia, trying to catch up on watch you guys, catch up on what's been going on, and also just getting back to writing a few things. And when I'm on shift, I come to work there to do radio on Hot 96. Right now we are working on shift, so right now Lulu Saidi atakuwa pale, but then from Wednesday I'll be back to do the shift. So other than that, just relaxing, getting in tune, encouraging guys to stay at home, trying to work from home as well, get updates. Man, it's tough times living it. There is no football, except for some leagues. I think I had in Nicaragua and some another one I can't pronounce yesterday in the news. Banandong was telling us. Other than that, everybody is taking a sad break to cope with the virus. Yeah.
Right, Willis, I tried to read that league. Is it just can or something like that? I just couldn't read it, and so I gave up. But you can imagine how much of an impact this has had on different people's lives, and even as we try to come to terms with what's happening, I don't know what your thoughts are in as far as the serious situation that we find ourselves in as a country. I was looking at a story yesterday saying that 86% of jobs have been disrupted by the COVID-19. Yeah,
so many things have been brought to the fore for me, I guess. I think one of them is the fact that right now, unfortunately, everybody has been forced. You know, back in the day, there was a lot of talk, and we've had this talk even in the country. Everybody says, let's go digital, let's enhance our digital capability, let's enhance our digital strengths, and even, corporates, the country, like let's talk about 4G, let's talk about 5G, let's talk about LTE. Now you're being forced to actually live in those kind of times. You're being forced to really know what digital content is all about for companies, for corporates trying to make money and still stay relevant. So that is something that everybody's now looking at. That's one. 2, it's brought also, there's a silver lining, I guess. It's brought people face to face with their families, face to face with themselves, because you have a lot of time to think and reflect as well. I've seen a lot of jokes online, especially for men who watch football. They're now being reacquainted with their wives. But it's also brought the things that we say in passing. We say things like, the world is a global village. And right now we are actually getting to see that the number one topic across the world is COVID-19. And it's amazing the things that we take for granted, including life itself. So it's just a time basically where everybody's trying to focus on how we can, leverage on everything being digital. If you see, even in the entertainment sector, all these, DJs are now going live, and it also makes the DJs think, artists as well. They're used to, the interviews are kind of enhanced, but now they are relying solely on social media. If they have a new song, it's social media. If they want to perform that song, it's social media. And again, it brings us to the conversation about bundles. Hopefully the internet will be cheaper post-corona.
The bundles question. But Willis, someone was asking me, or we're having that conversation about the English Premier League, and I think it was Bernard who was telling me that there's a possibility that it can be cancelled or just wait until the postponement is over. I mean, what do you think is going to happen? Because Liverpool was almost there. We're almost just a few matches remaining for them to lift the trophy. What should happen now?
You know, it's very sad. There have been jokes about it, that Liverpool know a little take it, but that's a very bad joke. But still, what is happening in the Premier League, we've seen also again, the Premier League before Corona had a lot of things that were going on in the background. Like racism, for example, there was a lot of, Raheem Sterling, Lukaku, just football in general. They've been going through a lot of bouts of racism, and that was the conversation with the hashtag Say No to Racism. Again, now it has reset so many other things in terms of them moving forward. So far, I think some leagues have been postponed until I think the 30th of April. Then they're going to make another decision to review. I think to postpone, as in to cancel the Premier League, as much as I detest Liverpool, will be very unfair to them because they've had their best season in 30 years.
Right.
And they've worked hard. I mean, to be unbeaten is no mean feat. Let's be honest. That means they're putting hours in training. Their team has gelled well. Finally, they're able to come together. And now I don't even know how that is going to be because everybody's at home. But I think they can put it on hold. I don't know how that's going to work. That is the big question for them because if you cancel it or rather postpone it, there's a spillover. There are normally events in the FIFA calendar that then get disrupted. Right. So that's the things that they're going to be meeting for. But for me, I think just for Liverpool's sake, man, watch us because either way there were 2 games to winning. But the problem with that is if you give it to them, that means you're giving them the money. Other teams, they're also at the bottom side. Right. There are teams that we don't know if they would have been relegated. And relegation means it affects the amount of money you get in terms of at the end of the season. Right. And so teams could go to court and say, "Come on, nikupewa, but that is easy to back." But unprecedented times indeed.
Very interesting thoughts there on EPL. I don't know. You of course you can imagine what I'm thinking, but I don't want to say it on air. But looking at your show, that is the 10 over 10. I don't know how affected you are because you are one host that obviously would have the live audience coming on board. But as soon as this was announced on the 13th of March, that stopped. And now it appears that the format is changing. How so? Yeah. And how challenging is that even to continue with the energy that was the show and that has been the show?
Yeah, for the energy, tuko man, energy anytime. But it has indeed, it's affected us in many ways actually, because we normally get to, you see, for me, those audience members see to watu wanakuja to kucheer, man, they're like my family. I cheer with them. I'm to bond. But now we can't have audiences, of course. That's one. 2, we can't have guests because the company is really trying to make sure that we keep in line with the measures that have been given by the directive by the government. So we have changed the format a little bit. What we do is now, if you have guests, we Skype and talk from home because so many things are happening in the entertainment industry. So we talk to them from home. It's good because you get to see the houses of the artists. To see how things are. Like recently we saw John Falme's curtains that he picked out. They are black. Yeah. We saw DJ Prodigy's juju. He has some feathers on his wall. I don't know what the juju is about. So we've changed the format. So what we do, we talk about different things that happen in the entertainment industry, things that affect the entertainment industry. Then we have a very interesting topic that we call segment that we call Fire or Retire, where we have the panel will decide whether the song is hot. That means it's fire, or should it or even the artist retire? Is it good music or should we flush it down the toilet? Plain and simple, no holds barred conversation. Tunaenda tukisondeka. Yeah.
All right, Willis, we have actually missed that. Thank you so much for inviting us to your home, and we appreciate your support.
Yeah.
We appreciate your support for the textile industry.
Oh yeah, we are here doing the most. This is actually coffee, not textile. My wife picked this out, so it's coffee. Yeah, the textile, of course, nimevanguo. So I also appreciate the airport.
All right, Willis. The Big Four agenda, manufacturing, you have to support that. So thank you so much for making time for us, and we can't wait to see you back on the show. All right?
Yeah, man, I can't wait to be back post-corona. But guys, before I go, let everybody stay safe, wash your hands, sanitize, do whatever it is you need to do. This is a time when we come together by staying apart, social distancing.
All right.
Let's do it.
Aya, basi kaa huko, wacha mimi nikae hapa. Let's take a look at some of the feedback that, not actually feedback, I want us to take a look at some graphics on how you need to prepare your masks and how to wear it, because you've been told that as we go to the public spaces, we will need to put on a mask. So you're just waiting, yeah. This is it. So this is how to put on or use it or take off and dispose of a mask. This is according to the World Health Organization. And the first one is, okay, iko wapi? Here you go. So when to use a mask. For healthy people, wear a mask only if you are taking care of a person. It's suspected 2019 new coronavirus infection. Wear a mask if you are coughing or sneezing. Masks are effective only when used in combination with frequent hand cleaning with alcohol-based hand rub or soap and water. So this is very important. You have to wash your hands. You have either to use a sanitizer or soap and water. And if you wear a mask, then you must know how to use it and dispose of it properly. So let's take a look at that. So before putting on a mask, you have to clean your hands with alcohol-based hand rub or soap and water. So this is very important so that you don't contaminate your mask. Then you have to cover your mouth. As you put it on, you have to cover your mouth and nose with mask and make sure there are no gaps between your face and the mask. I wish I had one so that I could demonstrate that. Secondly, avoid touching the mask while using it. That is, once you put it on, you have to avoid touching it, because if you do, you have to clean your hands with alcohol-based hand rub or soap and water. That is, if you have to touch it, just to ensure that you maintain its integrity. Then, once you're done using one, you have to replace the mask with a new one as soon as it is damp, and do not reuse a single-use mask. So the 3-ply masks that you've been seeing, the ones that were presented by the Cabinet Secretary and the Director General, Patrick Amoth, those are 3-ply masks that you have to dispose as soon as they get damp. So to remove the mask, you have to remove it from behind. So if you are wearing it on your ears, you have to pull the strings. Do not touch the front of the mask, and you have to discard immediately in a closed bin. You have to clean your hands with alcohol-based hand rub or soap and water once you have done that. So I hope you have learned a few things, even as you go to procure your, what do you call it? Your mask, your face mask. So let's take a look at some of the feedback of what you've been saying. Frank Orinde is saying that Ngilu is talking of purchasing ICU beds, and she doesn't even know the cost of one. ICU bed without human resource to attend to each bed is a waste of time. Tell her a fully equipped ICU bed is more than 25,000 she's talking about. Of course, that's Orinde who's responding to what the governor of Kitui was talking about. Then secondly, we have, who is this? Well, it takes a bit of time. We're waiting for feedback of what you've been saying. Of course, there you go. This is on Twitter. At Citizen TV Kenya, you say, Engineer Azaro, you said that ICU facilities launched by the First Lady across the counties during her Beyond Zero campaign can't be traced. Some governors may be sneaking these facilities to their private clinics or homes. I'm not certain about the ICU facilities that were launched by the First Lady, but what I know for sure is that there are some Beyond Zero, what do you call them? Vans, ambulances that are distributed to different countries. Let's take a quick look as we wind up, practically out of time, a quick look at the numbers. There's a website that gives us the tabulation. So this is Worldometer, and the total so far as of this morning is 1.274 million cases. Out of those, 69,471. Are we able to take a look at that in a closer manner? 69,471. Well, on your screen, that is 69,479 have died. The recovered ones are 264,000. But also looking at, let's just be specific to the countries and look at how that spread is going on. Let's use, this is a better one. So, US now, 336,830 total cases. You have that? You have that? Well, I'm trying to get it. There you are. There you are. So that's the use. So which country is this in Akwanga Pachini nini? It's Mexico. Mexico. 2,143 total cases. Those that are dead are 94. They recovered are 633. So you can see the proximity does not matter. Then back to Africa. No, let's look at the Asian countries here in China. This is a country that people have been raising questions. This is where the virus began. 81,708 cases reported so far. Out of those, 77 have recovered. This is more than 90%. The deceased are 3,300, but those that are active cases. You can imagine that in China, in the Republic of China, only 1,299 people are still positive with the virus. That's the statistics that we have there. So there are so many people that are questioning that. But all the same, ours is report based on the figures that we can see and that we can verify when that opportunity comes. So thank you so much for watching the show since 6 o'clock, and on behalf of Zinzi Kibiku, Asante Sana. She'll be back here at 9 o'clock to bring you the updates on the latest that you need to know. My name is Sam Gituku. See you again tomorrow.